What if I told you there is a movement that looks almost too simple to matter, yet it can expose weakness, build leg strength, improve posture, challenge your balance, train your mind, and give you a very honest picture of how well you're aging? Most men over 50 have never heard of it, and the ones who do hear about it usually underestimate it, because from the outside it just looks like standing there. That is a mistake. It's called the horse stance. No machines, no treadmill, no dumbbells, no gym membership. Just your body, your breath, and a position that forces you to create strength instead of borrowing momentum. I like movements like this because they strip away excuses. You cannot hide behind fancy equipment. You cannot fake stability. You cannot talk your way around weak legs, a soft core, poor alignment, or a mind that folds the second discomfort shows up. You just stand there, and the truth shows up fast. Now, before you think this is some martial arts performance piece, stay with me. I'm not asking you to become a fighter. I'm asking you to use one ancient position as a modern tool for longevity. I spent 20 years as a Navy SEAL. I believed in intensity for a long time. Push harder, suffer more, earn the result. Then at 48, my body handed me the bill for that mindset. High blood pressure, bad stress markers, hormones moving in the wrong direction. I had to relearn something I should have understood earlier. After 50, the best training is not the training that beats you up. It's the training that makes you more capable without making you more broken. That's why I respect the horse stance. It builds strength through stillness. And for the aging body, that matters. Let's start with the first big benefit: leg strength. After 50, leg strength is not optional. It is independence. It is getting out of a chair without using your hands. It is climbing stairs without negotiating with your knees. It is catching yourself when you slip on a wet surface. It is carrying groceries, walking hills, traveling, getting off the floor, and staying useful in your own life. When you settle into a horse stance, your quads light up, your glutes engage, your inner thighs wake up, your calves help stabilize. You are not doing reps. You are creating continuous tension. That matters because the muscles stay under load the whole time. No pounding, no impact, no jumping around, just controlled effort. That's a strong option for older adults who want to build strength, but do not respond well to a lot of repetitive stress. And let me make something clear. Your legs are not just there to carry you around. They are one of the main systems protecting you from decline. When leg strength goes, everything gets smaller. Your confidence gets smaller. Your activity range gets smaller. Your willingness to move gets smaller. Then the body follows that pattern downhill. The horse stance helps interrupt that. It teaches your lower body to work as a unit, not in a flashy way, in a useful way. The second benefit is core strength, but not the fake kind people talk about online. I am not interested in six-pack conversations with men in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, unless there is real function behind it. What matters now is whether your trunk can stabilize your spine, support your posture, and let you move through daily life without your lower back doing all the work. The horse stance challenges that immediately. The second you lower into position, your body has to organize itself. If your chest collapses, you feel it. If your pelvis dumps forward or backward, you feel it. If your core is not doing its job, the stance becomes sloppy fast. That is useful feedback, because real core strength is not about performing for a mirror. It is about being able to stand, turn, carry, brace, and move with control. It is about protecting the lower back when you are doing ordinary things that suddenly become harder with age if your trunk is weak. Getting out of bed, standing in line, reaching into the back seat, walking while carrying something heavy. Those are the moments that expose whether your body works as a connected system or a pile of parts. The horse stance trains that connection, and it does it without asking you to get on the floor, crank your neck in crunches, or hold some ugly plank variation you hate so much you never do it again. Third benefit, balance and body awareness. One of the quietest signs of aging is not wrinkles, it's hesitation. That split second when you step off a curb and feel less certain. That instinct to reach for a wall. That small stumble you laugh off even though it bothers you more than you admit. Balance usually does not disappear all at once. It fades in the background. And one reason it fades is that people stop challenging their bodies to hold centered positions under control. The horse stance forces the challenge. Your feet have to grip the floor. Your ankles have to stabilize. Your knees have to track properly. Your hips have to hold alignment. Your trunk has to stay tall. Your head has to stay calm over your base. Your nervous system is constantly making small corrections. That is balance training, whether you call it that or not. And here's where it gets more interesting. It also improves proprioception, your internal sense of where your body is in space. That matters a lot after 50. The better your brain and body communicate, the better you recover from missteps before they become falls. Falls are rarely just bad luck. Usually there are warning signs first. Weak legs, poor body awareness, slower reaction, less control. A stance like this helps you train upstream of the problem. Fourth benefit, joint-friendly strength. A lot of men stop training because their joints start complaining. Knees ache, hips feel tight, ankles get stiff. Shoulders are another story entirely. Then they make a bad assumption. They assume exercise is now the enemy. Not true. Bad exercise selection is the enemy. Reckless progression is the enemy. Ego is the enemy. The horse stance is one of the reasons I like isometric work for older adults. You are loading tissue without a lot of repeated pounding. Tendons, ligaments, and stabilizing muscles all get a signal. Not a chaotic signal, a controlled one. That matters. The body adapts to tension. But the kind of tension matters. When you hold a properly aligned horse stance, the lower body is learning to tolerate load in a steady, predictable way. Over time, that can support joint integrity and improve how secure the body feels under you. Now, I am not telling you this stance cures joint problems. I do not do miracle talk. But I am telling you that many people over 50 need more smart loading, not less. Their joints need surrounding muscles that actually do their job. They need stability. They need blood flow. They need practice being under controlled tension. The horse stance gives you that. Fifth benefit, hip mobility. This one gets overlooked until daily life starts exposing it. If your hips are tight, your lower back pays, your stride shortens, your posture changes. Getting in and out of a car becomes more annoying. Tying shoes becomes a negotiation. Standing up feels heavier than it should. You may even notice you rotate your whole body instead of turning smoothly through the hips and trunk. That is not just stiffness, that is lost freedom. The horse stance opens the hips gradually, especially the inner thigh and groin region, while asking the pelvis to stay organized. You do not need to sink to some heroic depth. In fact, I would rather see a shallow, stable position than a deeper one that looks like a structural compromise. Mobility you can control is useful. Mobility you borrow from bad positions is not. That is the difference. Even a modest version of this stance can help reintroduce space and strength through the hips. And when the hips move better, the rest of your life tends to move better too. You walk more naturally. You stand taller. You shift directions more smoothly. You feel less trapped in your own body. That is a big win after 50. Now let's talk about a benefit most men are interested in, but many are too awkward to ask about directly. Pelvic circulation and vitality. Here is the honest version. As men age, circulation, pelvic floor function, stress, sleep quality, body composition, and overall metabolic health all influence how energetic and vital they feel. That includes sexual health. It includes confidence. It includes how connected they feel to their own body. The horse stance is not some magic fix for that. Anybody promising that is selling nonsense. But it can be a useful supporting tool. Why? Because the position recruits the muscles around the hips, lower abdomen, and pelvis. It encourages blood flow to that region. It also trains breathing under mild stress and can help reduce the kind of chronic tension that drags down energy and recovery. For some men, the bigger benefit is indirect but powerful. They start feeling stronger, steadier, more grounded, and more physically engaged again. That spills over into mood, confidence, posture, and how they carry themselves. And yes, those things matter. You do not separate vitality into neat little boxes. The body is one system. Stronger legs, better posture, lower stress, improved circulation, and more confidence tend to travel together. Seventh benefit, mental toughness. This may be the part I respect most. Because after about 20 or 30 seconds in a horse stance, the conversation changes. Your legs start talking. Your mind starts bargaining. You get that familiar internal voice. This is enough. I've done enough. I can stop now. That is where the stance becomes more than exercise. It becomes practice. Practice staying composed inside controlled discomfort. Practice breathing when the body wants to tense up. Practice not panicking when effort rises. Practice holding your posture when fatigue tries to pull you out of it. That is useful far beyond training. Stress does not disappear after 50. In some cases it gets worse. Health worries, family worries, work transitions, retirement identity issues, sleep problems, you name it. So training the mind to remain steady under mild physical stress is not some soft idea. It is practical. I have seen this in my own life. When I rebuilt my health after 48, one of the biggest shifts was not just physical. It was learning to stop reacting to every signal from my body like it was an emergency. Breathe, assess, stay organized, respond intelligently. The horse stance teaches that. You hold, you breathe, you stay put. You do one small, hard thing on purpose. That builds something. Eighth benefit, full body coordination without complexity. One reason older adults abandon exercise is that the barrier gets too high. Too many steps, too much equipment, too much setup, too many chances to skip it. The horse stance has almost none of that. You need floor space, that's it. And while it looks simple, it involves far more of the body than people realize. Feet grounded, legs loaded, core braced, spine tall, shoulders relaxed, jaw unclenched, breath controlled, mind focused. That is full body engagement. No loud music, no machine cue, no complicated program, no excuse that you did not have enough time to drive somewhere and get started. That level of simplicity matters because simplicity gets repeated, and repetition is what changes bodies after 50, not motivation, not hype, not some perfect Monday reset. Repetition. So here is how to do it. Start with your feet wider than shoulder width, toes turned out slightly, not aggressively. From there, sit your hips down and back a little, like you are lowering onto an invisible stool. Keep your chest lifted. Keep your spine long. Knees track in the same direction as your toes. Do not let them cave in. Do not let your torso collapse. Think tall through the crown of the head, grounded through the feet. Then breathe. In through the nose if you can. Out slowly. No breath holding. Start with 20 to 30 seconds. That is plenty for most beginners. Then stand up, shake it out, and rest. Over time, build toward 45 seconds, then a minute. Then maybe up to 2 minutes if your body tolerates it well and your form stays solid. But hear me clearly. Longer is not automatically better. Better is better. A clean 30-second hold beats an ugly 90-second hold every day of the week. If you want a few coaching cues, here they are. Keep the weight spread through the whole foot, not just the toes. Do not let the knees collapse inward. Do not arch the lower back to fake posture. Do not hunch forward and call it depth. Stay calm in the face. Tension where you need it, not everywhere. That matters more than people think. A lot of men turn every exercise into a full-body panic event. Wrong strategy. Learn to create controlled effort, not total body chaos. Now, who should be careful? If you have had recent knee, hip, or lower back surgery, if you have uncontrolled blood pressure, severe balance issues, or pain that shows up sharply in this position, do not play tough guy. Modify it or skip it until you have clearance from your doctor or physical therapist. You can also start with a higher position. Hold on to a counter if needed. Use a wall behind you as a reference. There is no shame in adjusting the movement to your current reality. That is what smart training looks like. The goal is not to prove something. The goal is to build something. And that brings me to the real point. In a world obsessed with speed, noise, and novelty, the horse stance offers something most older adults actually need more of. Stillness with purpose. Not laziness, not passivity. Intentional stillness. You stand there and create tension. You organize your body. You breathe under load. You build strength without impact. You challenge your focus. You ask the lower body and the nervous system to work together. That is a lot from one movement. And it is exactly why I respect it. Because after 50, you do not need more gimmicks. You need tools that are simple enough to do, safe enough to repeat, and effective enough to matter. This is one of them. So here is my challenge. Today, stand up and try one round for 30 seconds. That's it. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel more motivated. Not after you buy something. Today. Stand tall. Take the position. Breathe. Let the legs talk. Let the mind complain a little. Then hold steady. And when you stand up, pay attention to what you feel. The legs, the posture, the breath, the focus, the honesty of it. Because sometimes one simple position tells you more about your body than an entire hour of distracted exercise. Strength has no expiration date. The body you have at 60 is built by the choices you make today. And you're not too old. You're just getting started.